The first thing you see before listening to an album is the cover. It's your first impression. It gives you an idea of what you're about to experience. A cover like Damn shows you that the album will be emotional, and Graduation makes it look fun and enjoyable. But what is this? It's terrible. So yeah, that's what I'll be covering in this video, the album covers that are not effective at their job. I'll pick 10 album covers that I believe to be really bad, make fun of them, rate them out of 10, and just remember that this is all for fun. Don't take anything I say too seriously. And if you enjoy the video, I'd appreciate a like, subscribe, hype points, and a comment. I read and respond to them all. Now, let's get on with the bad album covers. Alright, so the first album we're going to be talking about in this video is Tub Thumper by Chumbawamba. I think that's how you say that. So first off, it's like a brat green color. It's already a little bit repulsive, but I can deal with it. I've seen worse. It's not that big of a deal. The real problem is the little fucking rat in the bottom right corner. What the hell is that thing? It's some creepy looking baby with black eyes and a giant ass mouth. I'll tell you right now, that thing has got at least 3 felonies, and there's most likely several police officers looking for him. And the title of the band is just slapped right in the top. I don't know why that's there. And it gets even worse. If you go to look it up on Spotify, it's a different cover, and the baby is fucking huge. He's taken up the whole damn screen and pretty much giving me nightmares at this point. And now the band's name has a bright red background behind it, as if it wasn't already fucking crazy enough. And in the top left, it's advertising one of the songs, contains Top of the World, Ole Ole Ole. That is not the first thing I think of when I see this album. I'm not like, oh, let's listen to it. I see this shit and I start looking for a bunker to take cover in. This feels like some sort of threat. And no, I have not heard a single song on this album, and I'm not gonna listen to one, but just rating the cover alone, I'm giving this shit a 0 out of 10. Alright, next up we have I Want to Sing by George Jones, and when I first saw this, I was like, okay, it's just AI, I'm not gonna use this one, it's not even funny, it's just boring. But it turns out this album came out back in 1977, so unless he's a fucking time traveler, I don't think he used AI here. But how the hell did he come up with this cover? It just has his face plastered on the front of a bus that also has his name written on the side? I don't know what kind of drugs he was taking when he designed this, but I want some of it, not gonna lie. And you know what? I just found it on Spotify. I'm gonna listen to the first track and see how it sounds. Alright, I got about 30 seconds into the song and I had to tap out, dude. Bruh. The cover alone, I just can't do it. And it's nearly 30 minutes? What the hell? I guess it's like a folk country album. It sounds okay, it doesn't sound bad, but like, justifying that kind of cover? Not a chance. I honestly would rather get hit by that bus than have to stare at this album cover any longer, so I'm giving this a 1 out of 10 and I'm moving on. Alright, next up we have www.thug.com by Trick Daddy, released in 1998. Now, what am I looking at here? There's a bunch of, like, buttons on the bottom. I see Trey 6, Society, JABAN, Buddy Row. I'm pretty sure these are the features on the album. Okay, yeah, if you look at the track list, these are the features. That's actually kind of cool to put them there. But then on the bottom, it says, you are now online. I don't know why there's a dash between on and line. I don't know if that means something I'm not getting. But then if you look at the top, there's music, sex, drugs, money, and death? Why is death an option? Those are like things you can click on the website. Who would click death? Do you just immediately die if you click it? Or does like he show up to your fucking house and kill you? Is this like that one Unfriended movie?
Who's that?
I really don't know what this cover is trying to convey, but I'll tell you right now that that is the spitting image of a man that you do not want to fuck with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give this one another 1 out of 10. I don't even know what to say about this next one. We have Baby Goat by Kivo Money, and on the cover, it's just him being birthed by a goat. So I guess, yeah, he's the baby goat in this cover. I don't know why he's not just calling himself the goat. Why is he the baby goat? Is there some kind of lore I'm missing here? Like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. And the goat has a GME chain on. I don't know what that stands for either. I'm missing more stuff. And then there's a doctor goat helping the other goat give birth, which, how the hell did he get a degree and become a doctor? Is there like a goat school, or did this dude just pull up to a random college and they let him in?
Never fucking win. Why get in the shower, right?
I don't know, but he must have been smart as hell if he got the job, because, oh my god, I couldn't do that. And also, something to think about, how the hell is the goat giving birth to a human? It's not even like a half-goat, half-human hybrid, it's just a full-on human. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, he's a full-grown man, he's not even a baby, so what the hell? At least if it's gonna be weird, be consistently weird. Like, if the shit at least made sense, I would give it some points, but it's just random shit on the screen. It's horrible, it's terrible, it's irredeemable. I'm giving this one a 0 out of 10. Next up, I figured I'd discuss The Life of Pablo by Kanye. To start, this album is just an overwhelmingly bright orange. It's just way too much on the eyes. And then there's all the text that's just slapped all over the place. It's like misaligned and weird. And then there's a picture of like a family. I don't know who that is. And then there's a butt. Bruh. And the thing is about this cover is a lot of people like it and defend it solely because it's Kanye. Like, if this was just a random person, they would hate it. But since it's Kanye, then it's artistic vision. How about you artistically shut the fuck up? If I had this on like a vinyl in my room, it would just make the room look worse overall. And sure, I get it, it's supposed to match the messy feel of the album with a messy cover, and it does do that, but that doesn't mean it looks good just because it fits the theme. I want to compare this cover to The Money Store by Death Grips because I think they're both very similar and are trying to achieve similar things. First off, they both use very flat, solid colors on the cover, but The Money Store isn't like insanely bright. You don't need fucking sunglasses to look at it, and they're both definitely very weird. The Life of Pablo has the butt on it, and The Money Store has the weird mask that's tied to a chain that the girl is holding. But I think The Money Store is able to be weird, messy, and effective, whereas The Life of Pablo is just weird and messy. I don't know, this one's not as bad as the others, but it definitely is a bit of an eyesore. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. And it got so much worse. I don't even know what to say about this. It's the Limp Bizkit album. I'm not even gonna say the name because it's weird and gross and I just don't want to say it.
Then make sure your baby's okay. Oh, yeah.
It's just these weird, disfigured, almost human-looking monsters just laying in a pile of hot dogs. I swear those guys look exactly like when you're out walking at night and you swear you see something in the corner of your eye and you turn and there was no one there. That's what I'm seeing every time. I just want to take a blowtorch and destroy that whole room. Every single one of those things has got to go. They're vile and I hate them. There's no way a single one of those things has a soul. Look deep in his eyes. Do you think he cares about you? No, he doesn't care at all about anything. And the hot dogs don't even look good either. That was like the last saving grace. At least if it was like, ooh, that looks like a good hot dog, maybe I'd give it a point, but it looks fucking gross. I mean, maybe I'd throw those at like cars driving by. I bet that would be fun, but eating them, not a chance. And I don't even want to know what this album sounds like. I'm not even gonna slightly check because it's probably as bad as it looks. So yeah, this is probably the worst cover yet, and I'm giving this one a 0 out of 10. Is it really a bad album cover video if I don't at least mention Angelic to the Core by Corey Feldman? I mean, to start, it's not even the right aspect ratio. It's not a square. It doesn't cover up the whole album, so that's already not very promising. And then we have Corey being dragged up from what appears to be hell by two angels? I don't know what he did to be put down there, but he probably should stay, considering how terrible the album sounds. And then there's like fire and shit in the background, and there's a big golden thing that says Angelic to the Core on the top, and then his name is written in gold on the bottom. Jesus Christ, man. I feel like I'm about to develop some sort of disease just by looking at this. This has got to be toxic to my eyes in some way. And he's got that dumb, smug look on his face, like, yeah, I made this, as if it's not some of the most atrocious looking shit I've ever seen. And I feel like part of me hates this one even more because I listened to it 3 times in order to give a review on it in one of my videos. Mind you, it's an hour and a half, so I spent nearly 5 hours in this hellhole of an album. Needless to say, it's a 0 out of 100 in one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life, so it's pretty much just fitting that the cover sucks too. So yeah, I'm giving the Angelic to the Core cover a 0 out of 10. I just really want to mention Mystery to Me by Fleetwood Mac because I'm a pretty big Fleetwood Mac fan. I love Rumors. It's one of my favorite albums of the 70s, but the same cannot be said about this cover. What the fuck is this? I mean, first off, obviously there's the big monkey monster thing. I don't know what that is, but for some reason it's on the beach. And he's got a piece of cake with him. He took a bite out of it, and he clearly likes that shit, but if you look on the ground, there's like maybe a book there. Did he take a bite of that too? I don't think he liked the book because he put it back down on the ground, but the thing that I'm wondering is how did this shit get on the beach? I don't think he found it there because I've been on many beaches myself, and I'll tell you what, I never saw a cake or a book just sitting there on the ground. So this monkey must have found the book and the cake somewhere else, and then he brought it to the ocean before eating it? Why did he not just eat it where he found it? Why did he eat it by the beach? Is he doing some kind of mukbang and wanted a good background? And also, just what the hell is that thing? If I saw that in public, I'm calling the police or I'm shooting it. How did they come up with this? They made Dreams. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. How the hell is that the same group who made this? It's atrocious. I can't stand it. And even the colors are just off. Like, if you just made it blurry and just looked at the colors solely, it's still ugly. There really is just nothing going for this one. I'm giving this cover a 1 out of 10. Alright, next up, we've got Live It Up by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I don't even know what this is. It's like a POV from the moon looking at the earth, but there's these hot dogs in space. They're on like these sticks, but then you can see the members of the band climbing the sticks, which means the hot dogs are huge. Think about that, dude. If that shit fell down, that could like crush you or destroy your house or something. Low-key reminds me of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs when it's like raining food and it goes, cheeseburger. I don't know, man. It's kind of freaking me out how big those hot dogs are. And also, why are hot dogs back again? They were already in that previous cover. It's the curse of the hot dog, dude. It's like if there's a Frank on the cover, then you can't like another. Huh? I was trying to make that shit rhyme, but it really did not work out. Anyway, dude, I wonder how a hot dog would taste if you put it up in space. Like, would it taste different than a normal one? I mean, obviously it would, but what do you think would cook a hot dog better? A microwave or space? Dude, space dogs! I can make a monopoly off of this. Holy shit, how has no one done this? Anyway, that covers a 0. I don't even care. I need to go put some hot dogs in space. I need to make some money. I'll be back. My business failed, I am now bankrupt, I am homeless, and I was nearly killed by a sea otter about 15 minutes ago. And anyway, for this last one, I decided to choose Trap Story by Gucci Mane, and let's be honest, this cover's fucking awesome. I know this is supposed to be a bad covers video, and this one is generally considered to be a bad cover, but I kinda love it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know who the people on the cover are, but there's a dude dressed as Buzz, you got Woody in the back right, and then there's a dude chilling villain on the left with the aliens. It's Toy Story themed. I mean, I love Toy Story. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I always loved the scene in the original Toy Story movie when Andy threw his birthday party and all of his friends came over and they all looked identical to him because they didn't have the budget to make a bunch of different looking kids. So it was just Andy and a bunch of clones of himself having a fucking awesome birthday party. What more can you ask for? Wait, I'm supposed to be talking about the cover, not the movie. I mean, I don't know. It's silly, but I find this one to be pretty charming. It's funny. It's awesome. It's great. It's a 10 out of 10. Okay, I wouldn't actually give it a 10. I'll give it a 6, though. It's pretty decent, but it holds a special place in my heart. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you made it here, comment hot dog. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.